Hi everyone, glad to see you. It's Monday and today we're going to be a little more serious. We are going to talk about the use of Topamax in someone who has serious migraines that happen far more than a few times a month. That would have been me. It is me. As you know, I started having my very first, is what they called a classical complex migraine with aura back then when I was 7 years old. So it was not hormonal or anything like that. It was just, unfortunately, the luck of the draw. It's genetically how my brain is wired. And I suffered for a very long time. And I would get it so badly, you'd lose half the feeling on your face, half your teeth, half your tongue, half your lips. You couldn't speak. I couldn't speak. I would spend most of the next 24 hours throwing up because the pain was so intense. And you just throw up and you throw up and you throw up and then you're throwing up nothing. You're retching, and then you go beyond retching to throwing up bile. It was horrible. My mom took me to my pediatrician, who was a completely worthless man as far as I'm concerned. If it weren't for him, maybe if I had gone to somebody better, I would be in better shape. I am in good health. I'm talking about my back, because I didn't catch the scoliosis. Didn't even check for scoliosis. And what he suggested for my migraines was give her Dramamine. Just the thought of Dramamine now, as an adult, makes me want to throw up. Dramamine did nothing. And I found out later that he had given phenobarbital, but my mom was reluctant to use it. My mom was a pre-major in school. She got her degree in biology. She worked in a lab in a famous hospital, a university hospital. So mom knows best, right? I do remember one time being extremely ill with a migraine, and she did give me the phenobarbital. And I remember just falling asleep on a couch. So, but I always wondered why wouldn't you want to help your child? And it's not like, oh, she's going to be an addict. And I always discuss this with my neurologist. If I were going to be an addict, I'd be an addict already. And I'm not an addict. So anyway, I digress. So many years of suffering. I got some relief when I was 19. So a great doctor. But he was not a neurologist. And he prescribed Cafragot, ergotamine tartrate, and Furanol, which is an aspirin and a narcotic and caffeine. That combination, those two medications helped, but they were more abortive. They were not preventative. So if I get the aura, I knew right away, take the Cafragot and take the Furanol, and that would help lessen the pain and the after effects. So it would lessen the chance of you puking all day. Now I was already in college. So there were times, thank God I had no roommate, where I'd just be lying on the floor with a bucket throwing up. And it wasn't until after grad school that I went to my first neurologist. And then she suddenly retired. I think I saw her once. I got switched to the neurologist that I see now, and I've been seeing her for over a decade. She's great. She's highly respected in the field of women's migraines and in women's MS. So there you go. And I had to go through a battery of tests, MRIs, find out what's going on in my brain. My brain is fine, except I do have a AVI, but it's stable. And it's too deep, they can't do anything to it anyway. And I said, well, what happened? She said, if anything goes wrong with that, I'm doomed because it's too deep in my brain. And so, and the brains of migraineurs have little white dots, but that means nothing. It's just how our brains are. So we went through you have to start slow and low, as they call it. So I tried all different medications with her first. Amitriptyline, nortriptyline, gabapentin. My son's back. Hold on a second. Okay, so where was I? Dogs go crazy when he comes home. He's back for break. So, went through the whole battery. Amitriptyline, nortriptyline, gabapentin, neurontin. Whole bunch of things. Nothing worked. And it wasn't like I tried it for a couple weeks. No, this was months. So this took several years. And finally we got to, you have a choice. We can do Depakote or we can do Topamax, Topiramate. And I weighed the options and I thought, which is the less scary sounding medication? I went with Topiramate. Topiramate gave me 11 years of pretty decent living. I would average 1 to 2 auras a year. So that was good. So what about Topiramate? What can you expect to know about Topiramate? So you can have a lot of side effects with it. And a lot of them they're transitory. They abate after a month or so. So you can have, I'm just reading this from Mayo Clinic, vision problems, like blurred vision, double vision, eye pain, rapidly decreasing vision. I did have a lot of blurred vision. Burning, prickling, tingling sensations. You can get that in your fingertips and your feet. I had that. It does go away. Clumsiness or unsteadiness. Yes, I did have that. Confusion. Can we blame the Topiramate? Continuous, uncontrolled back and forth eye rolling movements. I don't know about that. Not for me. Dizziness, yes, I did, but I already suffered from vertigo, migrainous vertigo. Drowsiness. Did Topiramate make me drowsy? Not particularly. Eye redness, I don't remember that for me, but these are, they have to list every possible side effect that's ever been listed in testing. So if one person gets eye redness, they have to put that down. Generalized slowing of mental and physical activity, yes. Increased eye pressure, no. My eye pressure was good. Memory problems, yes, I did have some memory problems. Menstrual changes. No, not that I know of. Menstrual pain, never had that. Nervousness, no, not particularly. Speech or language problems, yes, I had a few months of not being able, you think I can't talk now. You should have seen me on Topiramate in the beginning. You can't find the words you want. It's, I mean, it's funny but not funny. Trouble in concentrating or paying attention. Not so much. Unusual tiredness or weakness? No, not for me. So those are the most common side effects, and the side effects are listed only because when they do these drug trials, they must list every single thing. So if one person breaks their arm, they have to say broken arm. So it might have nothing to do with the medication. I digress. So Topiramate, it really was a lifesaver for me. So it gave me 11 quality years of life, considering I had suffered since age 7 with non-quality years of life. There is nothing worse than running down to the high school bus stop, getting on the bus. I never liked to get up in the morning. I'd run down and the bus stopped at one street, skipped my street, and went to the next street. And so I knew I wasn't going to make it to the next street, so I was running the bus stop for me at my street, which they were, I'm not supposed to stop here. You get on the bus, you sit down, and immediately you get hit with an aura, and you stop the bus. The guy went maybe 15 feet. I had to get off the bus and go home. So, and it was like that for years and years and years until I got the Topiramate. And it gave me that confidence and freedom to go out, because I knew I was not going to get struck down with an aura and a migraine. There's nothing worse. And my grade school years were just horrible. I turned into a different person. And I was reading my old report cards, and it shows in the teacher's comments from before I developed the migraines and after I developed the migraines. My personality shifted. Because something like that hanging over your head, it makes you miserable. So why did I stop Topiramate? One thing they never discuss with you is the increased chance of kidney stone while on Topiramate. You have to drink a lot of water, but still it increases your chances. And I developed a kidney stone. It was about October 15th, I think, 2015. Where I ended up in the hospital and I needed surgery to remove it. Okay. And I had a stent put in. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. The pain of a kidney stone, it's in the top 2 pains I've ever had. It was awful. It was terrible. And I talked it over with my neurologist, and I said, I am weaning off Topiramate because I can't risk this again. I cannot. She said, are you sure? Yes, I'm not going to do it. And I seemed to do okay for a few months. That was October. I weaned off. I was able to finally finish weaning because you can't go cold turkey on this. You could end up with seizures and other problems. I think I finally weaned off before December. It was late November. So we're talking right now, it's probably about the 2-year anniversary of not being on Topiramate. And I did really well for the first few months. I thought, oh, I'm okay. And then it was about February, and I got hit with an aura. But the head pain wasn't so bad. And then they kept getting more frequent, and the pain was increasing. So now I'm back to where I was before, where I get a lot of auras, and the pain is unbearable. But I can't take anything for it. I can't take an abortive medicine like sumatriptan. I can't. I have adverse reactions. I can't take Excedrin migraine. I can't take my beloved Fiorinol or anything. No aspirin products, no NSAIDs, nothing. It's because of the kidney donation. I cannot do that. I have one kidney and I have to keep it in good shape. Aspirin, NSAIDs, stuff like that get filtered through your kidneys. It's too hard on your kidneys. So I can't take that. So I am down to Tylenol. Tylenol does nothing. Nothing. People will tell you. So, what would I recommend? I would recommend for people who are really suffering and need relief, go to your neurologist. Family doctors, they don't know enough. Go to a reputable neurologist. Talk to them about what your headaches are like. They are going to put you through a bunch of tests. And when you see them in follow-ups, they are going to do the same tests that they always do. You are always going to have to take your shoes off, walk on your toes, walk on your heels, close your eyes, put your hands out, touch your nose, do things like that. They're going to look in your eyeballs. And it's going to take a while before they decide which medication is right for you. But hopefully you will find something. Maybe you won't even have to go as high as Topiramate. But as I said, for me, that was the lifesaver. I see my neurologist, the one that takes care of this part. I have two, as I mentioned before. One takes care of the back and the legs, and one takes care of the head. I see her, I think, in January. So we're going to discuss what to do. The next stop may be the Botox injections. I don't know. That scares me. So anyway, I don't want to talk too long, and I probably talk way too long. As always, I probably did, because I did have to stop in between. So thank you for watching. Leave me a comment, ask me a question, let me know, have you ever been on Topiramate? Have you ever been on a preventative migraine medication? you take an abortive medication. So when the attack starts, you take it and then it helps get rid of it or calm it down. And I forgot to mention that topiramate, they are not, it started as an anti-epileptic medication. Then they found out it works for migraines. They don't know why it works for migraines. They think it has something to do with calming the brain activity. Because when you have a migraine, it's when electrical currents, their latest postulation is electrical currents, it's a wave that goes across your visual cortex. That's what causes the aura, and there's too much brain activity. See, I think too much. So they think it calms the brain activity down, which would explain why then you feel kind of like a slug, but at least you don't have a headache. So with that, this has been far too long. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to go check in with my son, and I look forward to your comments, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.